Okay, so now we have explored a little bit of Git, but that's really touching barely the surface. Now, how do we actually work as a team? That is the real problem. A lot of people know how to use Git, um, know how to do coding, but they don't really know what it means to work in a team. So, in order to do that, I'm gonna try and actually create this scenario where I am a team member and I'm trying to develop something. So, what would be um, my actual way of doing it? So, first of all, my team will be working on a Trello board. Now, let's keep in mind one thing. Trello is a great tool. I love Trello because it's nice and easy to use. But real developers will probably use a more proper board, which is fully integrated with Git, like ZenHub, or let's say less colorful. So this is nice because you can pretty much use it for whatever. Now, the one way that I like to work with is a Kanban board, and the Kanban board is one of the templates that comes with Trello that you can use for actually creating um, your team board. And well, in the Kanban board, you have your backlog, and everything has to flow from like normal boards from left to right until you get to done. So let's have a look at the actual concept here. Let's say I said one card. Let's on my project. I have a number of cards here. Could be login screen. What else? I could say profile screen. Um, integrate security. There's definitely a lot of things that I could do here. Now, so that's my backlog. That's where everything starts. Nothing should go from one place to another unless the process is followed. So let's say that I'm in a team of three, and I'll say, you know what? Okay, it's my stand-up meeting, and I'm gonna say, okay, I cleared my logs for yesterday, so I'm gonna go and take this new task called login screen. The first thing that I would do is I would come here. Let's see, what can I do? I am actually gonna give it to myself. So I'm gonna say Alessio. And you know what? I'm gonna try and have it done by tomorrow. There you go. So this is one great way of actually um, just working. Take ownership and also try to inform your team about it. Okay, so that's mine. Now, the one thing that should not ever happen, any of these given columns should never ever have your name twice on that same column. So let's see. So, okay, first iteration, I'm gonna go in this. Okay, so I need to design this. Um, let's see, what can I do? I decided that for my design, I normally use balsamic, so I will switch into that. Let's have a look. So this is balsamic. I think I've shown it before. What do I need to do? I need to do a login screen. So, and it's for a mobile, wasn't it? So, a mobile screen. There you go. So let's go and get a mobile. No, that's an icon. Okay, so there's a smartphone here. There you go. Done. I guess this will be my extremely lo-fi. What do I need? I need the title. I call it my tutors app. I'm actually gonna try and handle tutors. Um, it's a login, so I will need what? A couple of labels, as per usual. Username and password. Let's have a look. Username, Password, then what do I need? I need an input box, I guess. I'm just gonna make something. I mean, this is actually what I do in real life. I do things which are really basic. Um, I let designers do the design. What do I need? I need a button. This is our usual login button. And you know, if you really want, just go and get some text, and there you go. See, um, or click here to sign up. How do I center this? I got centered. I think it's very complicated to actually just go and change one color. Okay, so this is it. Let's say I just need to export this, export the current mockup to a PNG, and let's see. I'm just saving it on the desktop. Login lo-fi. Okay, so this is done. I think I can go back to my other work. Let's see, record. Okay, I'm back in here. So let's see. I needed to do the login screen. I'm gonna do attachment. How do I just attach a? I think I can just go and grab a. There you go. I can just go and drag it. So that's now uploading it. Okay, done. So design done, complete. So not much to do here. So this is now done. So now the reason why we have to do in design is because sometimes design actually comes before development. So this, if you can see, everything is red when it's got to do with code. So now I'm playing both the role of the designer and the coder, but until then, it was completely different color. So let's go back now into being a proper developer. So to do, I have to do this login screen. Yeah, okay, I'll pick it up. All right, so now it's my job to actually go and code this. What am I gonna do? Well, let's get back into Git, or let's get into the code actually. Okay, so I am now in the code. Let me clear this up. So the thing that I would do is, first of all, you can use a number of plugins to check where your things are, and you can use a lot of applications to follow where you are on Git. The rule of thumb is don't use anything graphical. There are two reasons. First of all, a lot of them, they just get confusing. And second, they are implementations of something, and that means that Git is the base, but then 10,000 people have implemented UI interfaces on top of it, so none of them have the same thing. So just don't. Use the standard CLI. Use the command line. Don't try things which are not going to work, trust me. Let's see. So the first thing is I want to check where I am. That's generally a good way of doing it. And I do git branch, and I can see, okay, I'm on the master branch. So I'm on the master branch. So where do I want to go? I want to branch out. So git branch, git checkout -b, and I'm gonna call this. This is gonna be. I'm actually supposed to be working in development, but I'm just gonna go by feature branch at the moment. So feature branch means it's a branch that only exists for very small development. So a small feature has to be implemented, like the login screen. Once it's complete, done, finished. So git checkout. Let's say login screen. There you go. So I am now in my login screen, git branch, and you can see now that I'm actually in the login screen branch. So let's say now I'm gonna do some work. I'm gonna create this new view. What's the word I'm gonna call it? Touch login view dot html. Yeah. Once again, for people who don't know what touch does, touch simply creates a file. Unix, basic Unix here. So let's have a look. So there is now a file called loginview.html. So let's say that we have coded that, everything is fine, everything is there. Now the next thing that I would do is I would commit this branch. So I generally just add star, unless there's something specific. I always add star. Call it a habit. So add star, add everything that I git add star. So add everything that I added in this session into my commit. Okay, now git commit -m will I will need to write a message. Now, as a Git developer, you should try to find a good way to communicate. This is quite simple because it's just a login screen, so it's nicely encapsulated in itself. But when you start doing small features within another feature, that's when things get complex, and you need to really be able to say, I have done this, and this way people can trace what you have done. It's when bad things happen. Good things, no problem. Bad things, we need to be able to trace them. Git commit -m, and I can see that I put, what am I going to write? Completed and the login screen as per design. So this could be an okay message, might be a little bit too descriptive. Completed the login screen, I think that would do. I'm happy with this. Okay, now potentially I can go and push this. So git push. Now, as you can see, something has happened. If we just push and it will not push, it's basically gonna try and push where it knows it should push. Let me reformulate that. Every branch, every local branch also has a remote branch, but now the remote branch does not exist. So we need to tell it manually to go and push into this branch, which is this command. Git push, set the upstream. So where do you want the files to go? And you want the origin to go then into the login screen. So let's get that and let's push it out. Now, once again, these kind of things, you only need to do them once. So you will have to do it, that's it. Every time you just create a branch. Okay, seems like everything is fine so far. Okay, cool, let's have a look. Perfect. Now, I'm just gonna show you, I'm just gonna go back into the master branch. And that is git checkout master. So I'm gonna do an ls, and as you can see, you cannot see the log. I just realized that you can't see it. Now you can because it's back at the top. So let me just fix that. I get this perfect at some stage. So let's do so git checkout master will take us into the master branch. Now let's do an ls. So as you can see, there is no login view HTML, and that's because this branch, the master branch, is actually behind. So if we look at this again, so this is where we started with the master. Then we went into a branch, and we committed some code, and then we didn't merge them, so we just went back into the master. So this one is actually behind. It doesn't have any code that was developed between here and here. Um, but I'm trying to keep a realistic environment here, so I'm not going to merge. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to go back where I came from. I'm going to go back to my Trello board, and I'm going to put my doing into the code review. So I'm going to write here something. I'm going to say work completed as per expected. I'm going to send a message to Alessio here. So I'm going to say, please review. And so for me, this task is now done. Potentially, I can even just go and remove my name from the members. So now, manager me comes in and say, oh, look, I have to go and do a code review. I go and look at the code. I can see what has changed. And I say, yeah, okay, sounds good. The code seems to be working as it should. We'll leave it in for testing. We try, we test it, we send it to developers, we send it to our QA team. We do a whole bunch of things. And then we can say, all right, it's now time to merge it to go for the real deal. So I would come back here and I would say git merge, and I don't remember what I called it. So git branch, login screen. So git merge login screen. So now this has merged the login screen into the master. So let's have a look. And as you can see, the login view is there. And I'm good. I'm happy. I'm gonna put it into done. Yay! And I get this. This is actually pretty cool that I get this coriander-y kind of thing. So this is the life of a developer. From the morning when he goes into his scrums where he's being told what he should do, to the moment where he picks up any kind of task and follows the team process. It's all about trying to follow that process. So the Trello board, but also the style of coding and working together and using Git has promoted this environment of good practices. So I am sure that I have done bad practices in the past as well. Sometimes I skip things. I would definitely would have probably have skipped a few steps here. There are times that against everything I go and code directly onto master, which should really not exist. But that's part of experience. You learn the good and you learn the bad. So I hope that you learned something today, and I hope this helps. Thank you.